Evening, guys. Good evening, sorry. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Hope everyone is well. Okay, so it's Tuesday the 21st of February, and I'm trading a live account today. Now, some of you will notice I've only got one account here. The plan was to have two accounts. I came back on Friday evening and tried to rush the other one through, and I ended up blowing it, which we've all done. So look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I have got the one PA account which is live now. So let's just see how we get on. I think sometimes it's better to trade the one anyway rather than having the issue or the stresses of the trade copier anyway. So it is what it is. So okay, so first day live PA accounts. So we got in Ranwolf, how you doing, buddy? Toad, good morning. Jim, how you doing? Grandpa Roger, how you doing? What? How you doing? What? Thank you, my friend. Cheers. But yeah, pity about the other one. Do you know what? I've sort of made some assessments and looked into my issues and over the weekend, and I had a chat to a friend of mine, Marlon, and I was gonna go down to one contract. Now, the amount of contracts I'm trading, I don't think is my issue. My problem is there's two issues I have which have been causing me to struggle. One is traded. Now, I would say 90% of the accounts I've blown are when I've come back later in the evening UK time, and traded again. Now, that I think is greed or trying to rush something, and that is when things seem to go wrong. So from this day onwards, when I finish trading on my stream, I will not go back and trade again. I will shut my machine down, and that will be it for the day. I'll go off and do other things. Now, I have joined the gym with a friend, so we're meeting at the gym at 6:30. I tend to trade till about 5:30, so that will give me something to do and to occupy my mind. But that is my main issue. My second issue is limiting my losses in a day. Now, I would say the times I have problems is when I lose more than 2 a day. Now, being able to take winning trades and build a count is something I can do. I've done it. I've proven I can do it. So I just need to tie up the loose ends, so hopefully everything comes together. So 2 new rules. If I lose 2 trades in any one session, I will pack up for the day. Now, if I lose them in the first 10 minutes, I will go on to a demo. But if I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours, I will pack in for the day. Because it just does not work. And I want to limit my losses to 2 maximum trades a day. If I do that, I don't think there'll be a big issue. You've done that in the past, 100%. I stopped that. Those sessions, hoping to get lucky. Yeah. I tend to come back, and I've done it so many times. I'm sitting downstairs after I've traded, and I'm thinking, oh, I want to trade some more. I want to trade some more. I want to make some more. Now, what I tried to do was rush that PA account, and believe it or believe it not, I got up to $30 short of my target, and I still managed to blow it because I was trying to rush it and I was greedy. What I should have done was just stuck to my 3.5 hours in the day, and when I finished in the day, regardless of where it was, I should have waited until today. If I'd have done that, I'd have still been okay now. So that is my biggest problem, coming back and trading later. Whether it's out of greed, trying to rush things, it's probably mainly, I would say, probably greed, trying to get too big too quick, rush it. So if I stop doing that, I don't think I'll have a problem. Now, and obviously the second issue is coming back later in the evening. Is that what I just said? Is that the one I'm talking about? Sorry, the second issue is max loss 2 trades a day. When I got that PA account up before, I took over a 4,000 loss in 2 days. If I'd have stuck to 700, maximum 2 trades a day, that's 700 a day, I wouldn't have lost a third of that. So I had a chat with a mate of mine, and he suggested that I do one contract, and I agreed. But I'm thinking about it. I like doing two contracts because it gets me out of that into that safety zone quicker. And I don't think the amount of contracts is the issue. It's the two I mentioned. So 2 new rules. If I lose 2 trades in a day, I pack in for the day. End of. Just doesn't work. And once my machine is shut down for the day, I do not come back regardless of whatever happens. I do not come back. That is it for the day. Period. Now, if I stick to those 2 rules, then I think my chances of succeeding will climb dramatically. So there it is, folks. So, you know how I feel. You've all been there. We've all been there. We've all had the same issues and the same struggles. Hey, Speedy Boy, how you doing? Another good lesson from you. Thank you. We've all done it, bud, haven't we? We've all done it. Lead and loser, how you doing? We've all done it, Speedy, haven't we? We've all, come back and tried to rush things and try to speed things up. And it's all the promises of all the mats and money you can make, and it blinds you sometimes, doesn't it? So if you can just roll it back, then I think I'll be okay. Just take it one day at a time, or one trade at a time. That is it. And I'm stopping picking bottoms as well, or guessing bottoms. If we get 1, 2, 3 places like this that sit beautifully, then, but the idea is going up here and trying to pick something, because if we've had a break, trying to pick that, to me, is picking a top. If that had gone up to exactly the same place, it's different, but that to me is picking a top. Just sort of guessing. It just doesn't work. So if I get rid of those careless trades, that should be another positive in my favour. So there you go. Feels like the words coming out of my mouth, mate. Yeah, we've all said them, but haven't we? We've all done it. It is hard. We all know it's hard. We've all done it. And like I say, I got to within $30, and in the end, I was just being stupid. I was just trying to pick the post, just push it over the line. And I ended up getting further and further away, and I extended my contracts, and it just, you know the story, don't you? You know what happened. So there it is in a nutshell. So let's see how we get on. This is my second proper crack at it, I think. The first time I managed to get up to about just over $7,500, and I actually made a withdrawal, so I had some money. But then I went over my maximum 2 loss for the day, and that's what did me the damage. And I just, to be honest with you, I was doomed from that day onwards. I just never recovered. It just shook me mentally. So if I got to say, if I lose 2 trades in a day, a $700 loss won't seem nowhere near as bad when I've lost $2,400 in a day and $1,900 the following day. So at least, once you've done something to the extreme, anything less doesn't seem nowhere near as bad. So I'm just going to take it a day at a time. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to count pennies. I'm not going to try and work out how much I'm going to make, because we've all done it. I'm going to withdraw 2,000 this month. I'll withdraw 2,000 next month. I'll withdraw 10,000 the following month. We've all added those figures in our head because we've all heard stories of people earning lots of money, and sometimes you can get a bit excited about these large amounts of money that we've all heard people withdraw, and it can blind us really, and it can get in the way of trading properly. A guy said to me once, a guy who first got me interested in trading, Andrew Lockwood, he said, concentrate on the trades, get them right, and the money will follow, I guarantee it. And that's something that's stuck in my head that I'd forgotten about. But he's a 35-year-old currency veteran who worked in the London Stock Exchange during the 80s. As a trader for some of the big, he's traded for some of the big, for the big international banks all over the world. So let's just forget the money from now. I'll try to get 2 or 3 trades in a day. If I get 1 a day, that's the way it is. I'm just going to take what's available, nothing more, nothing less. And then we'll see how we got on. So the market is, let's have a look. It happens to me as well, blowing 3 value accounts with 250 away from, I know. It's when you walk away from the machine and you're asking yourself, why did I do it? And I think it all leads back to those emotions, doesn't it? They just take over. So my answer to the trading issues have always been time. It takes time. You've got to fail so many times for you to start to realise it. You know, we've all got to get it through our thick heads that it just does not work if you don't do it properly. Rushing doesn't work. So let's see if I can't focus and get this account up to a nice safe amount and build it slowly. Okay, so market has just opened. So I was looking here to see if there was a short, but I am concerned that we've bounced off this bottom before. So let's see how we get on now. There is some news coming up shortly, which is in about 15 minutes, flash services PMI. So I need to be careful what choices I make. So let's all sit down and see how we get on, eh? See if we can't muster up that focus that we all so desire to do. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, right, let's have a look. Now, okay, we've broken out of this. Let's see what happens. We're in this downtrend, okay? So what I need to be able to do is just to be aware that this may be a breakout of a range. Although I really do like that. But, I'm just going to be a bit careful at the moment. I'm not going to go jumping in, looking to me like it's coming down, but it's not a second entry. We've had a break and a new high, but it's not a second entry, so I need to be careful there because that might, I wouldn't be shocked if that pops up. If that goes up there and breaks ahead, then I'm going to try not to rush these decisions and think about them. Sometimes you think you've got to get into the markets at 100 miles an hour, and when I watch other traders, they seem to have much more time than me, and I think that's just the way I'm seeing it. In my opinion, we get a nice retracement. Yeah, I'm pretty sure things are coming down from here, but it's a little bit congested, isn't it? You know, I was pretty much sure we were going to do that, but it wasn't a second entry, and I'm just trying to be a bit careful and a bit selective in my trades. Yeah, see, if I'd have taken that, I'd have still be sat in there now. That one. Yeah, I wouldn't have come out there. That would have been my issue. So, what time is it? Okay, we've got a bit of time. Let's not be silly. Now that is a second entry short. So let's get
order submitted.
Ready. But I need to be careful. Right, that's broken above it, so I'm not interested in that. That's slightly too risky for me at this early stage. If I can get that account up to 20,000, then I may take a slightly riskier trade like that. But we have had this downtrend, which is clearly confirmed. We've had a break out of it. One push up, two push up. There is some congestion around here, so maybe. Yeah, same again. EMA's flat above the EMA, just too risky for me. Got to be extra careful. Also, what I've got to keep in mind, let me just ditch that for a minute.
Order
what
cancelled.
I've got to keep in mind is we've respected this line on quite a lot of places, so this could be a breakout of a possible. Now, at the moment, we've obviously got a downward bias, but this might be some form, although it is in a range, but obviously the overall daily comes into place and there's no guarantees we're going to make a new low. This could be a failed breakout and it might push up, so I've got to be careful going low unless I see some sort of a gold mine type of a trade. I certainly don't want to get stuck into a trade. There's some news in 11 minutes. Your bars are different. Okay. Let's reload my historical. I haven't done any trades or anything yet, so it shouldn't be an issue. I'm quite happy to let trades go by if I don't think they're suitable. Okay, that should hopefully be a little bit better. Who was that? Dylan. You're right, Dylan. And you do, but shit, microphone's in the way. Okay, that looks a bit better. Let's just close this up a bit. Let's eat this up a bit. Eat this up. What's that about? Yeah, see, to me that looks like it's pushed up and it's bounced off here. Yeah, okay. I'm no longer interested in shorts just at the moment. They look the same. All right, but yeah. It may come down and make a new low, or it may just keep pushing back into a range. So it's hard to say just at the moment. So while I'm not sure, I'll stay out of it. But we've pushed out and we've bounced off here and we've had a couple of pushes up. So whether we will come down or not, I don't know. But I am aware this news event's coming up shortly. So I may well be better off to leave things alone at the moment. I've just been assessing my situations over the weekend, and I'm just thinking I need to now, instead of taking risks and doing stupid things to try and rush things, I need to start treating this like a business. If this is the future I have to start taking it seriously. And if I take a loss, I just have to get on with it, because I've spent enough time now, the last 18 months, just throwing money away and throwing accounts away, trying to get lucky, trying to rush, trying to speed things up, and it just does not work. And we all know it doesn't work, but it's easier said than done, isn't it? Let's have a look at this. Okay, so we have had a break and we've had a couple of pushes up. So it is possible we still might make a new low and possibly aim towards this, but I just need to be careful. So yeah, I just need to start. Somebody said this to me. I had a conversation with a guy. I can't remember his name. It might have been called Joe. He actually phoned me up randomly about maybe, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 months ago, somewhere around there. And I had a conversation with him, and he said, I just felt I wanted to call you up because you reminded me of himself. Okay, so we've got a push down, a pull back. And maybe a couple of legs. There may be a way down here. Let's see how this finishes. What's the time? Yeah, he just phoned me up. We had a random chat. Nice guy from the US. And he just said, you reminded me of me. And I think the conversation ends, if you're not getting there, I think his words were, you're just not taking it seriously enough. You're treating it like maybe a bit of a game or a bit of a challenge or like a bit of an argument or something like that. Okay, so we're moving up at the moment, and I want to be careful about doing this because this could be a second entry long if it breaks and goes higher. At the moment, we're going up, in my opinion. We may come down, but even so, even with this, it may go like this and push up. Okay, maybe I was wrong, but if I'm not sure, what I was thinking, and I may still be right, what I was thinking is something like this. I'm not saying it is, but what I didn't want to do was get trapped going short there and then it push up. In other words, second entry long. And I thought, as we're sort of moving up at the moment, this could be this break out of a range, and we're now pushing back up. 2 legs down. So that would have made a couple of points at least. But my issue was 1 leg down, 2 legs down, and then a push up. But I didn't want to get trapped. If I'm not sure, then I'm leaving it alone. I'm not guessing what I think is right. I want to wait till I'm convinced I know what's right, because that's the best. I'm in the best frame of mind to make a decision. I could be wrong, but obviously, yeah, this is what my issue was, that we were having a break out of this up channel. Okay, that's a failure, isn't it? Now that might be a trade.
Order submitted.
It's a failure. See how this ends. Still think we may make a new low. Kind of hoping it doesn't. Okay, no. It's getting close to the news. Let's forget
Order
it for now.
cancelled.
Let's just sit tight. Let this news get out of the way. Anyway, yeah, I didn't want to go short there because I thought I was thinking about at the moment things seem to be moving upwards. It may sort of, although it looks bearish, it may be more of a range at the moment, especially when we've been hitting these lows. Although we have broken lower a bit, with this congestion, we've had a drop down and we've strongly pushed back in. So I'm thinking this could be a failed breakout. And I don't want to get caught trying to go short when it's going back into the range. So, okay, so we've had this sort of, I don't know, it's a wider trend. It probably isn't, but let's remove it at the minute. Break, come down and bounce. It could be just a couple of pushes up and it could be a couple of pushes down. It's hard to say, but it is. I'm not 100% convinced. I'm comfortable. I know what it's doing at the moment. It could be doing that, which means it could go either way. It could push back in or it could come down and make a new low. So sit on your hands and scratch your arse time, I think. News in 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sensible thing to do, isn't it? Just quickly, guys, I want to read this out for your information. The trades taken during this stream are purely, in my opinion, not intended to be copied. Also, not interpreted as any type of investing or financial advice. Trading can potentially result in significant financial loss, and therefore, any decisions taken by you guys are taken at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor, and this live stream is purely meant for entertainment purposes, and that is my arse covered. Does make me sound quite intelligent as well, doesn't it? I think. Yeah, it just, you know, I know you guys ain't stupid, but it just, it's better if I read it out. Really, it covers my arse. I don't want to get you guys into trouble, and you know, I don't want you copying me because I have my fair share of issues, as you well know. You've seen me struggle from time to time, so I don't want to get you guys in bed with me, so to speak. So, where are we? What time is it? News is coming out in about just under 3 minutes UK time. Let's have a little zoom in. Yeah, I did. I was going to change to one contract, but as I thought over the weekend, the contract size has never really been an issue for me. I never seem to lose enough trades to get me into trouble. The bit that gets me into trouble is coming back later in the evening, and I like having two contracts because you get a couple of 2 to 3 good days and you get above that safety zone where the apex drawdown stops at $50,100, and I kind of like to get out of that safety zone. But I managed to do it before, so I am capable of taking the trades. I am capable of reading the market. I just need to be selective in my trade choice. I need to stick to the rule of 2 losses in a day. I'll walk away. If I lose 2 losses, it could be a number of reasons. I might not be in the best frame of mind. The markets might be tough. Whatever case it is, the sensible decision to make is to walk away. And I think now, if I could go back and walk away with a $700 loss instead of that $2,400 loss, I would be quite happy. So if I'm ever going to make this as a trader, then I have to start taking it seriously. And if I can't follow my own basic rules, then I don't deserve to be earning money. So until I can do that, I'm still going to be struggling, and I think we've all done it. We all know the answer to it, but sometimes doing it is easier said than done. But I'm just trying to focus on this now being a business and a career. And the only way with a business or career is to work hard, make good decisions, and don't do stupid things. So, okay, this news is due out. Flash services, PMI. There is something at 3 o'clock, but it's a medium impact news, and they've never really done a massive amount of damage. I don't think that I can remember, maybe once. So what I might do is in 10 minutes when this other news comes out, I might just nip downstairs and make myself a quick cup of tea and take a few minute break and then pop back afterwards. So I hope you all had a nice relaxing weekend. Well, it was a long weekend. I did look at the volume yesterday, and there was about that much during the whole day. That was it. So there was no volume. There would have been less than a quarter amount of, maybe 20%, maybe 15% of the volume in a day. Just wasn't worth it. So I cancelled my stream. So I hope all you guys had a relaxing weekend or a long weekend. Okay, that is the news. Nothing spectacular at the moment. What I may do is bring this range down a little bit to around about. Seems a bit better to me. So it touches there, it touches there better, it fits there better. So that is, I think that's a little better. So I would say now, based on adjusting that, I would say it's probably likely we're going to move back into here, into this area. So that in that case, that was a failed breakout. So looking to go short there wasn't the best idea, so I'm quite glad I left it alone. So whether we will make a measured move here later at some point remains to be seen. Side targets 4057. Yeah, I'd say it was probably going to be moving up this way. I would have said. I mean, we may come down and make a new low, but I think the overall range takes precedent over this. In fact, if I'd have moved that down earlier, I may have considered taking a long there, making a new high, but there wasn't really a setup. These seem to be way more reliable than the short-term trends I expect to break and a new high, so it wasn't a great setup. But so let's see what we're doing here. We have broken out of this a couple of times, so we may come down. It's possible. Perhaps we may come down. I did wonder whether we had any type of a larger range up here. It's just too early to. Too early at the moment. Okay, so I would say now probably. In fact, let's do that first. Okay, that looks quite nice to me. It's touching twice there. The body closes there. That looks about right, actually. In fact, let's remove that for now. Doesn't really make much difference now anyway. So, okay, so this makes sense now. So we're arranging at the moment. Possibly overall, but certainly ever since we pushed into here. So we've had that breakout and it's come back in. So see what happens. But my issue for me, so I'm just looking at that now. The issue for me is you fade the range in the direction of the market. So for me, the direction of the market seems down. So I just wonder, 2 legs down, if this turns bullish. Let's have a look. 2 legs down. Okay, so we have made a new low. Okay, so that that downtrend there has played out. I was just thinking if there was a 2 legs down there followed by a bullish bar back in, but just wondering whether we're close to this second measured leg. Yeah, there's no setup there back to the EM anyway. I mean, you could say this is second entry long, 1 leg, 2 leg. How accurate were those legs? pretty accurate actually. Zoom in a little bit, but there's no room back really. I mean, it looks like it's a short-term trend channel, so I'd say it's likely it's going to push in. Maybe not. Maybe we are going to come closer to here. That might be right for a slightly larger range. Let's see if we push up and come back down. You took the big swing down, did you? Yeah. Okay, I like that. There's a trend there, trend channel there, and we're about to make a new low there, I think. So I kind of hope we get towards that. That looks okay there. I mean, it could be just the short-term trend channel break and 2 legs to a new low, but either way, it doesn't really matter. We've had a break, whether it's for that short-term trend channel or the slightly larger trend channel. We've had a break and a new low, so starting to look bearish, isn't it? I still don't think there's anything here yet. May turn into something like that later on, but I'd rather sort of get down this area first. But at the moment, I'm just sitting tight at the moment. I don't know whether we're going to come back in or whether we are going to continue down. Okay, so there's that measured leg. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether we got the short-term trend or the slightly larger one. We've had a break and we've come down and made a new low. So this is the type of bottom picking I'm avoiding, not something along this lines where it's fitting beautifully. This, taking a rough stab, that's where we're going to bounce off. Because if I'd have taken that one, although for me the bar wasn't very convincing anyway, these are the bottom picking things that I'm trying to avoid. Just the ones that are randomly in the air that I think, oh, we've had a break and a new low. Doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to pull back a few ticks and continue lower. I've been caught out so many times on these, so although that's not the best bullish bar, it's just dangerous. My arse would be twitching like a good one about now. Okay, so I'm going to remove that. We've hit that, no problem. It is quite choppy actually in parts. Ever since we went in here, it's quite choppy. Push down strong, push up strong, push down strong. So it is choppy, so I've just got to be aware to be extra cautious. Okay, so we've broken out of this and pushed back in. So whether we'll stay in here, we may have one leg up and another leg up, but it's just too early at the moment. So sit down and wait your time, I think. Yeah, I think someone else mentioned they went short there. I looked at that, but for me at the moment, because this is ranging, this is the bottom that it's been using to bounce off, and there's not really much room there. So if I'm going to assume it's going to go lower, I think that would be a risky assumption. So, which is why I left it. I was aware that the chance of us hitting that was a possibility, but that's just what it was, a possibility. There's clearly a channel down and a break. But that's the thing about these choppy days and range days. They don't necessarily mean you're going to hit a new low. It was looking bearish, but it was just risky. I'd rather take my trades towards the top, really, in these ranges. Okay. It's definitely looking bearish to me. I wonder. We're going to have something like that. We've had that main measure leg down. I don't think that one was the same. It may have been. Down here somewhere. It's definitely looking bearish. There's no argument there. These bottoms are getting progressively lower. Tops are getting progressively lower. Yeah, so we are working downwards at the moment. I think we can all agree there. Yeah, maybe this is going to pull back and make a leg down. I'd say that's a possibility. Okay. Now this looks to me like two legs, so if we can get a second entry short here, I may be interested. I prefer it to break towards here really and bounce off the bottom of here. But that's only one leg up at the moment. One leg down. I'd say this is probably going to make another leg down, but in fact, let me just see where those come to. There to there. Okay. Got to stick to my rules there. Can't just take this first entry. It hasn't broken higher anywhere there, so I'd prefer it to come down here and push up a little bit. Okay, that's broken lower. Now push up a bit. It's a struggle sometimes. These first entries just tank. We like to have a second entry as like a just to confirm it. One leg, two leg, and then once we go up twice, usually people will give up then. So, but sometimes, I mean, I'm seeing here this has just got bearish written all over it, and unfortunately, it's gone down without us. You just can't take that really. Well, you can't take that if you're following the rules because that is just one leg. Although the bar's looking nice, I love where it is. I think we can all agree that it's quite likely going to come down. It's just unfortunate though. It's guaranteed the second you drop it in there, it triggers, comes up, stops you out, and then drops down and ends up being a beautiful second entry short. So you got to leave those down there. And I know sometimes they work, but they always seem to work when you leave them alone. The second you get in them. Okay, so that's two legs down. So maybe we're going to have these two legs down, another pullback, and then an overall larger two legs. That's what it looks like to me. One leg, another leg. It's definitely looking bearish. No argument there. So just for now, I'm going to remove this. But what I want to do is just put a line in here for the market. I was going to put it in for the high of the day, but the high of the day and the market open are almost a tick apart. So just in case we do make it back up there. Now I'd like to say the low of the day, but we're continuing to make lows. As tempting as it was to go short there, and I expected it to come down here. It's made a measured leg now, I think, but it's just down, 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 down. It's just looking down, down in it. Let's just try that again. Yeah, it's looking better, isn't it? If it wasn't for that area there, in fact, it could end up being something like that, really, couldn't it? But it's only really touched twice there, isn't it? So let's just remove that for a time. Sometimes you can get a bit hung up on those and they can lead you into making poor decisions. So maybe we'll try that later. Let me just check where that measured leg finished. There and there. Yeah, okay, so that measured leg's played out. Now, if we can get another second entry short here, it's got to be a second entry short. I'd say there's a possibility we're going to come down here and make a measured leg from this larger one here. It's got to be a second entry though. Yeah, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Look at that. That one came down. You just don't know. If we can get a second entry short, then I'd take that. Because it's definitely moving down. There's no argument there. We're definitely bearish at the moment. That looks actually quite nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's much better. I like that. Okay, if we can get a second entry here. That's the frustrating thing though, isn't it? Maybe the experienced guys are thinking, we'll stick one in here, we'll have a short risk, and it's come down. Let's wait for it to touch up here. Short risk, it's come down again, but let's just zoom in a minute. I am expecting it to continue down to here at some point. Let me just remove that, clear this up a bit, and that. Okay, touch a few times there, touch again, okay. It fits here nice as well. Just got to be careful because it's coming away from here, there, and sometimes it can go up, down a couple of times, and off it goes. We may get a break out of it here. Let's just get an order in ready, just in case.
Order submitted.
That needs to push up here for me. That's not strongly enough against this. That's risky for me. To me, that looks like it's going sideways if it doesn't get any higher. No. Okay. Promising. Now let's put that back actually. It has rejected that quite strongly. That's where I'd like it to go, somewhere close to there. Well, certainly above here. This may come out here now. It's just the way we've hit this bottom and we've gone up. And we haven't come down as far there. For me, that's likely to break out, I think. So roughly to these highs. Just up here, I'd say. Somewhere right about here. Too risky, that. Too risky. Shame.
Order cancelled.
That's the trick, though. I mean, there it's, although it's a second entry short, it's just, it's a crap signal bar. And it could really just go either way. Yeah, I don't like the way it's bottoming there. That's telling me it may likely push out. Okay. Okay, the other medium pattern news is happened. Nothing's really no issues there. Okay, one leg. Let's just check this second leg again. That's what I'm expecting it. Okay, now that's a possible second entry short there. One leg, two leg. If we can get up here somewhere and then get something bearish, then I like that. Okay, you can recount that. So that's your first entry. I want to get up a bit higher. Coincidentally, I had an email actually from Apex. They've done this. I don't quite know what they're doing, to be fair. President's Day, new offer, President's Day, 50% off. I'm thinking, well, we got 50% off already. So the only thing they've changed, it's 50% off. Off. Okay, second entry short. Let's see where that finishes. There's 50% off. So first entry, that's a possible failure that's triggered. So I kind of like that.
Order
Let's see if
submitted.
this comes down and takes out this, because there's probably going to be some longs in there. Let's take that there. Okay, trying to go once, trying to go twice. There's going to be some
Order
longs
filled.
in there, so kind of like that. Taking that on the engulfing. See what happens here. Try to go once, try to go twice. Triggered. Come back down. Perhaps I shouldn't have took it on the engulfing. I thought the engulfing was the reason it got why I was interested in it, to be honest with you. So we'll see what happens. See if we can break below it. That would have been a better option. Break below it, I'll feel better about that. Okay, that feels better. That then is a failure. So let's move it down here to this leg and see if we can follow it down and make something. See what happens. Just trying to think where anyone would have gone long there. Okay. See if we can hit this bottom. Bottom's about down here.
Stop filled.
Okay. Right at the bottom. Okay, $350. Okay, I'm all right with that one. So it was that one, wasn't it? Okay, nice start. Now, it may have gone lower, but I tend to wait for it to break the bottom, then drop me stop in. If I get lucky, I get lucky. Okay, so that's kind of a nice start. It took a time. Thanks, Wood. So give me any comfort. Well, it's hit it a couple of times here, hasn't it? And also here. And it's done pretty well here, and here nice, and here. So we've had a break out of it, haven't we? And the bit that got me is first entry, second entry. For me, that was a failure going long. So I reckon, because we've come down the bottom here, there's probably been some longs there. So I took it on the engulfing. So we had a break. And that was sort of one leg up, two legs. It didn't make it to the nearest tick. So there's one leg up, two legs up to me, new high, and it can't, obviously once it broke down by there, we had that lower high, finished below, and for me that was all right. It was good enough to go. I mean, was it one of the safest trades I've ever seen? No, but I think it was worth it, and I think we were coming down to a new low, and it worked out like I thought it was going to. So didn't like the gut. Well, I thought there was likely going to be some. I mean, in all fairness, I think the safer bet, would have been to take it one tick below. But I thought the bit that got me interested in it is I thought we've had a breakout. We've had one leg up, two legs up. So for me, those two legs and a break and a new high for me, I'm thinking straight away we're going to come back down and make a new low. And what did I take? I took it below here, didn't I? So where did it finish here? I can't. I took it below there. It triggered there, and then obviously came up a bit and finished how I like about it. But to me, one leg, two leg. For me, it was coming down, and it did what I expected it to do. I came out at a safe bet. Now, obviously, sod's law. It keeps on going, doesn't it? Now, the gorilla guy had probably still been in here now. Where's it come? Not as much as I thought. I was expecting it to come down here for this second leg. One leg, two legs, which it looks like it's done. Let's have a look. Let's get that a bit closer. That looks okay there. That looks okay there. Yeah, so we've had two legs down for me, and that's close enough there. That's a couple of ticks off, and that's finished about the same way. So, yeah, what do we get? 350. So, okay, so that's a nice start. So, plus 3.5 points. And also, if you're recounting here, you can count that as one leg because that's the same. You can recount it was a second entry short as well. So, not only was it a lower high, it was a second entry short. So, Yeah, obviously it was the engulfing bit that triggered me, but the fact that we'd had 2 pushes up, I was pretty sure we were coming down. So let me just move my mic and do a bit of typing. So plus 3.5 points. Okay. Right, that's a nice start. So now let's forget that now and get back to what I'm trying to do. Is every time I take a trade, I'm trying to take a few deep breaths, forget about it. Yeah. Money in the bank, it's in there, forget about it. Let's just carry on now as we started, nice and focused. I'm trying to talk about my emotions as well, and talk about how I feel, and it might help me deal with things. Okay, this is looking a bit nicer. I mean, if it comes down, in fact, I don't think that's terrible, is it? It's more importantly where it's up here. We're going short towards the top. It's not such a major issue where it is at the front. Touched here, that's not too bad there. That's pretty good there. So, in fact, I don't think it really matters whether we have it or not. There's no arguments we're going lower at the moment. So, where we had that second leg, it's clearly stalling there. So, let's see how we get on anyway. So, thanks. Cheers, guys. Thanks. Nice when it works, isn't it? Who else took? Anybody else take that lower high, did they? In fact, to be fair, I didn't even notice it was the second entry. Because, sorry, let me just wind that a little bit. Because first entry set, but because we've had matching lows now, you can reset this count, so that can be 0. First entry, second entry, so it's a second entry short as well. That, yeah, I came in probably 1, so 1, 2, probably 3 ticks earlier. You took a coffee break. It's always a way, isn't it? You know, it's the best trades you get when you're having a coffee, aren't they? Or got a stuff in a sandwich in your face, or sitting on the loo or something. Yeah, we always have the best trades. Okay, so that channel now has had a break and played out. Doesn't mean it's not coming down, but I just need to be particular careful. Because it's times like this where you think it may push up now towards... in fact, it's times like this that may be useful to have this in. Yeah, we don't assume we're just coming down now. There's a good chance here we could come back to this part of the... so this channel, 2 legs with a break, new low. So it could come down or it could go higher, but let me just feather this out a little bit. Okay, I don't think that can be adjusted to there, could it? Or could it? Let's have a look. It's highly possible. What do you think? What do you think, guys, about that? Let's just take that away a minute. Do you think it's worth adjusting that or not? Or should I left it like that? In fact, I'm just wondering whether it might be better to put it like that. To be honest with you, I think the safer option is to put it there, because at least then we've had a break and a new low. I wouldn't, if it was in there still in a down channel, then I would still be thinking about shorts. I'm not going to say there's shorts because there's a second entry short there, but I don't want to assume that I'm continuing to take lows at the moment, because there's a possibility, not that I want to take highs, but it is a possibility we could come into this area. And maybe if this is a bigger trend, work towards this line, it's possible. So I just need to keep my options open and not focus on one outcome. It's working quite nice in there. And if we just look, it's full. Let me just put the midline. That might help me. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's sitting quite nice on the midline. It has dropped below, but midline's not playing a massive role, to be honest with you, so it may not be. I think leave it for now. Yeah, I think that the safer option, it's hit it more there once, a few times there, once there, and here. And we've had a break. The safer option is to allow the break and the new low to happen. I'm wary about taking second entry shorts here as we've had a break and a new low, because we could have a push up and another push up and then maybe work into this area. So I've got to be careful about just thinking short straight away. I mean, I like the look of that very much. That's a second entry short, isn't it? I like the look of that. I think I'll be, if that finished right, my issue is, let's see, let me put those measured legs because these are useful. I kind of hope this finishes crap. In fact, sod it. I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. I'll let that ride. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea and have a quick break. I'll let that one go. It's finished crap anyway, so there we go. I'll leave you to it for 5 minutes. Okay. What was I looking at? Was it? Yeah, it's congested there anyway, isn't it? So a bit rangy. Okay. There is a lower high there, but just at the moment, I think I'd rather just stay on the safe side. Because it has triggered below there and it's not moved down in a hurry, so it may do. Looks like it's trying to. Just wondering whether there's going to be, as we've had this break, whether there's going to be some longs trapped there. Possibly. Okay, I'm happy to let that go because at the moment we're going a little bit sideways and it's just risky shorting that close to the bottom just in case it does decide to come up a bit, although the EMA is pointing down a little bit. But, you know, sometimes if you're not sure, I think the best option is just to leave it alone. Hey, Jack. Ooh. Have you been here before? Oh, yeah, you have. Of course you have. I didn't know whether you'd spoke earlier. Yes, of course you have. Of course you have. Channel. So look, if you adjust your channel, two legs might hit the upper channel bar. Are you on about I'm not sure what you mean, mate. Let's have that. If you adjust your channel, your two legs might hit. So where are the legs now? Here and here. Hey Jimmy, how you doing, mate? How you doing? I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. So far, so good. You're about this one here, are you? Okay. Yeah, that looks okay. Yes, no arguments from me there. That looks okay. Touch a couple of times. Touch. Yeah. Okay. That looks all right. Yeah, sometimes I avoid doing these, but I'm not doing anything at the moment. I'm just sitting and watching. So it's the best of the bunch, put it that way. I would prefer it doing something like that. Let's have a look. Fits the bottom lovely there, doesn't it? But yeah, I think the best of the bunch at the moment is something like that because it fits really nice here and here. Let's get the midline up, see if it plays a part. Not so much. In fact, it's probably a bit too small to have a massive impact. Let me just remove the impact because it's, in fact, let me remove the impact of the bigger one. The midline of the bigger one because it's, okay, that's a bit better. The bigger one is just a guideline really more than something to follow. At the moment, the most important channel is this one I'm in at the moment. New PA, is it? Yes, it is. Just blew another PA today. What you did? I blew one on Friday evening. Don't know what to do, lad. Thinking of packing it in. Oh, mate, I've been there many times. My honest opinion, mate, is take a break. Couple of days, a week, just take a break. I would say, how many times have I thought about packing it in? You know that, I don't know, maybe half a dozen times, maybe a bit more. But when I have a break, for some reason, when I'm away from the markets for a few days, I come back with a load of new enthusiasm for some reason. I don't quite know why. I think I'm lucky in that sense. But if you're feeling like that, mate, you need to clear that. Yeah, blew it today. Yeah, you need to clear it, mate. You've got to clear out your head. It's dangerous to come back and trade when you're frustrated. I'm frustrated. I've done it so many times. And I think sometimes, do you know what? I've been frustrated for like weeks on end, and I've come back. And one day, when we had the, I think it was the 80% off, I blew 60 evals in one day because I was angry and frustrated. So I've worked out, if you're feeling knotted up inside, you're on a good run, you're meditating all, yeah, it is tough, mate. It is tough. But I think sometimes the safest and probably the cheapest option is to just take a few days off. Sometimes 2 or 3 days does it. Just get the markets out your head, or maybe up to a week, or even a couple of weeks, whatever. Just come back when you feel a bit more refreshed. But you're going to be feeling pretty shitty now. And I know I've felt like that. But what I will say, mate, it's perfectly normal to feel like that because we're human beings and that's how we work. So I wouldn't beat yourself up. You're doing what human beings are designed to do. Panic, basically. Fight or flight type of thing. Emotions, we don't deal with emotions like that every day. You know, when you're in, you know, when things are normal, obviously, you know, if you're in the middle of a marriage breakup or something like that, then obviously you will have emotions. But what you got to try and not do, mate, and I've heard this from so many people, is just not beat yourself up, because you don't deserve the hard time for a start. Because what you're doing is perfectly normal. But obviously you got to clear your head a little bit. So I would just take a break, refresh yourself, mate. Have a break, get that knottedness out of your stomach, because all that's going to do is go against you and make you waste more money. Just take a break. I mean, the good thing about a PA account when you fail that is you get an 80% offer. So maybe take that up and then take a few days, take 3 or 4 days up, maybe the rest of the week, and come back and try it on Monday. But you've got the 80% option there if you want it. But if you are in a frustrated mood, I got to the stage where I thought I'd never be able to make money. And I started streaming, and it seemed to work because I seemed to be in the right frame of mind. And I put that down to people watching me. And you don't want to look an idiot, do you? And I think that helped me. And then I started getting a little bit of belief in myself. Because I believe I've got the skills, or got enough skills, to be able to make money. The bit that I've been struggling with is the psychological side, that's the bit that everyone struggles with. Anyone will tell you that, any professional trader. There's been 1,000 books written about it, but I would say if you're feeling knotted up, frustrated and down, which I'm guessing you are, I'd take a break. Just take a few days off, refresh yourself, and then just try and come back. But certainly try and keep your losses to a minimum. Now I'll only take the evaluations that have 80% off. It just gets too expensive otherwise, and the more money you're throwing away, the more you feel like a failure and frustrated when you do fail those accounts. But my honest answer, mate, to the psychological side is it takes time. You don't really need to do anything but keep trying, and I believe your mental attitude towards it you'll force it to change, because your brain will only be able to take so many losses before it starts to realize this just is not working. And I believe then you'll start to look at things different. I don't think there's a magical spell for it. You know, a lot of people meditate. Meditating, I would say, certainly helps. Yeah, no, trying to draw down. That was $2,000. Yeah, it's hard, mate, isn't it? It is hard. It is hard, mate. But don't beat yourself up, bud. Trading ain't easy. We're just doing things that human beings are designed to do. That's just how it works. Unfortunately, when you're in the middle of it, it doesn't feel very nice, does it? I've had that feeling, mate. You know, sometimes I'll see family members or friends of mine and go, oh, when you figure out how to do it and you start making some money, let me know how to do it and I'll earn some money. And I kind of have a little snigger to myself, and I'm thinking, you really would not be able to stand the suffering. But take a break, mate. Take a break, clear your head a bit, refresh yourself, go to the gym, lift some weights, go for a run, whatever helps you relax a bit and get that frustration out your belly. And then the best time to come back is when you feel refreshed and up for the challenge again. And then just keep trying, mate. This takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. So take a break, bud. Take a break. Don't pamper yourself. Yeah. Throw some ale down your neck. Well, I drink whiskey. I do. I'm quite a single malt fan, I am. So I probably drink far too much, but 2 legs up. But yeah, just take a break, mate. That's the best thing. Best answer. Anyone will tell you that. And I'll tell you what, every single person on this stream has felt exactly the way you're feeling now. Group hug. Group hug. Yeah, take a break, bud. Take a break. I've never looked into that static account, actually. I'm not even quite sure exactly what it is. No, don't worry, mate. I like it. That's part of the reason why I do it, mate. I want to hear how other people feel. Because it makes me feel like I'm not on my own. Because I tell you what, when you're sat in a room in your house in front of your computers feeling like shit, sometimes you think you're the only person in the world. And when other people tell you, I've struggled as well, it makes you feel better. Mate, I tell you what, you can come on here every single day and moan all day long, mate. I've got no problem with it. I'm happy to talk about it. Most people know I'm not shy of having a good chit-chat. So, nah, come on here, mate, and get a little bit of friendly support, and it makes you feel better. Absolutely, mate. You know, we're all in the same boat here. And I think that helps us connect a bit, because I've done lots of jobs in my 53 years, and trust me, I have. And I've never done a job that quite makes me feel like this, so it's quite unique in a sense. So, mate, I'm happy for you to come on here, bud. Mate, you can message me anytime you want. You got my messenger thing. Message me anytime, night or day, mate. I'll happily have a chat with you. You know, we're all in this together. Just not when I'm in the middle of a cricket match. I take things seriously. So look, I want to quit about 5 times, Radu. And I'm lucky with my wife. She keeps reminding me this is a marathon. Yeah, smart wife, mate. Very supportive. I've got a supportive wife on the country. Come on when you feel like you need. Yeah, sometimes you need a pep talk. You need someone to tell you it'll be all right. Keep trying. Don't give up. It is tough. And when you hear that from other people, it does help you. It does help you feel better. But I've just joined the gym, I have, and I'm going to start going to the gym after streaming, because, well, trading, because I got to say, when I was actually on my last P account earning money, I felt quite a renewed sense of stress because I've got something to protect now. But, you know, if you're doing an evaluation or something, you've got no money, you've got nothing to lose. But when you have money to lose, I had a whole sort of... So, yeah, I'm going to help my stress and frustration. No problem, Jimmy. Anytime, mate. There's not one person who would disagree with you on here, mate. We've all been through it. We've all felt it. It's hard. That's sort of why I kind of like it. Because the way I see it is, when you manage to stick at it and you start to get success, just think of how good that's going to feel, and how all the doubters in your life, anybody that doubt you, you can rub their nose in it. I just want to work from home. I hate working for other people. I need a slap, not a... No, you don't, mate. Mate, all you're doing is what is perfectly normal. That's what human beings are designed to do. And I've read that so many times, so I just... you're not doing anything bad, mate. You're just doing what comes natural. Unfortunately, that's how we're designed. And I think with time and keep forcing, you know, these rules and regulations down your neck, sooner or later, I think then you start to just adopt them. You know when you're kids. Remember when you were kids and your mum and dad tell you how to do this or how to do that, and you never listen, do you? And then you think, when you get older and you start a new job and someone says, do it like this, and you listen to them and it works. But when it comes to trading, every book and every thing we've ever read that says take your time, do this, do that, we just don't seem to listen, do we? And that's purely, I believe, down to it is down to the emotions. But like I say, and I've said before, the more you expose yourself to these emotions, the more you'll start to get used to how they feel, and they won't screw you up as much. And then, it's like anything. If you bang your head against the wall enough times, sooner or later, you're going to realise it hurts and you bleed. You know, So take a break, mate. That's first and foremost. Take a break after you've slapped yourself. Take a break. Go out for a walk. You know, it's getting nicer now in the UK. The weather's warming up slightly, so get out, get some fresh air, and clear your mind, mate. And then come back when you feel ready. Whether it's a day or 2 or 3 days, I tend to find 3 days works for me. I'm itching to come back then. I like the challenge then. I don't like to think that I can't do something. And not only that, I want to earn the money and I want a better life. So, okay, so we've had 2 legs up here. But it's not. Or is it a second entry? It is a second entry, yeah. But these are the types of tops I'm trying to avoid. I kind of hope that finishes shit in a way. 2 clear legs up, but I'm going to leave this alone, I think. Yeah, don't worry about it, mate. Take your time. Yeah, I definitely take. Yeah, you can do the sim. That'd work, but I would take a clear day off. Just take a day off, just to clear your head a bit. I'm not a fan of sims. Not for the early stages. I'd say it depends. Now, I've been trading this nearly 2 years now. And I think once you can get to a level that you can start to read the charts and start to trade okay, I think it's important to keep that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? You need the exposure to the emotions. And I think sometimes if you keep going back to them, if you've realised you're missing something and you haven't learned something, that's where the demo comes into it. But once you can trade and you can start putting setups together, then I think you need to keep that exposure to the emotions, because that's the only way you're going to get used to it. It did tank down, but there was a no setup. So, you know, if you've been doing it a while, maybe year and a half, something like that, and you can trade, you're in, okay, well, you're in 3 years, so you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. It's the emotions, and I don't think you can experience the emotions on a demo. You just can't do it. It's not the same. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the bit you're struggling with is the emotions, and the only way you deal with those emotions is to keep exposing yourself to them. That's my opinion anyway. But I'm sure that, you know, other people, might tell you slightly different, but there's loads of opinions out there, and listen to them. Listen to a few of them, see what you think. Okay, so we've had this channel, and we've had a break. We've actually had a measured leg pushed up, and we've come down, so just got to be careful here. Excuse me a minute, I'm just going to let my dog in. He's all whining outside the door. Yeah, okay, we've had that measured leg up there. Do I like that as a lower high? Kind of. Kinda. There's just something about it I don't like there. Okay, we're in this trend one. So we've had a small break out of this, but it's not convincing enough. If I can move that up there. I'm not convinced there's a break, to be fair. That, maybe. Let's close this down a tiny touch. Okay, I'm not convinced that's a break. Let's have a look at this. I actually kind of like this as a lower high. We've had 2 pushes up, measured move, and we've come down strongly.
Order
like
submitted.
Lower high. Short-term trend channel break.
Order filled.
New low I'm looking for. Down here. I meant to take that there, but let's just try and get something out of this. 1 leg down, 2 leg down. See if we can get down to these bottoms here. One leg, two legs. Sorry about that. I'll just strangle these in a minute. Let me just see if we can get towards this bottom bit here. There is some congestion here, so I might not be too greedy here and maybe get out for... Let's have a look. What do we do anyway?
Stop filled.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that. There's some congestion around here. I've just had a knock on my door. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. A bit flustered there, bit flustered. Someone knocked on my door and my bloody dog started barking. Okay, I was quite happy to take it to the bottom. Let me just look at this. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me get my breath back. Right. The bit that's concerning me is we've had this channel down here, but it's come a bit further away from it here and a bit further still, so I'm not sure whether... Sorry, I'm out of breath. Just turn the mic off a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's coming away from the this side of the channel, which is just making me a bit nervous. I think we may be starting to lose momentum. I don't know. But the way it's congested here, I'm quite glad I got out of there. So, sorry about the being out of breath. What did I get there? 2 points. That'll do me. I'm happy with 2 points. If that's all I get sometimes, to be honest with you, if I was still in this trade now, my arse would be twitching thinking, what have I done? Now, we've had this channel and we've had a measured leg, 2 pushes up. So for me, that's played out. 2 pushes up. So you could say this is maybe a short channel like this. That sort of kind of fits. We've had a break and a new high. And funnily enough, the new high is right at the top of this larger channel. And then we had a strong move down below the EMA. Let me just remove this. Strong move down below the EMA. We had a break, nice big bearish bar also right at the top of this channel. So I'm thinking another leg down, which is why I jumped in there probably a couple of ticks further than I meant to, but it didn't. Like I say, it was hard. You had to be quick. So that's what I'm looking for there. So I think we'll likely just drop below this lot here, whether we'll continue down. But I just don't like the way it's starting to come away from this side. So I'm quite happy just to get in there for a quick 2 points. So let's have a look. Is that what I got? 2 points? Yeah, 2 points, I think. I made a few mistakes. One, I was trying to pick bottoms. I'll tell you what, mate, you're exactly like me. I watched the gorilla guy, yeah, the gorilla trader guy, and he said in one of his videos, the reason a lot of newer traders fail is they pick tops and bottoms, and that stuck in my head. And I just thought, Christ, that's me. And that's where it goes wrong, yeah? That would be picking a top to me, which I didn't do. I waited for a push down, a short-term trend channel, and a break. Then I expected a new low. We're in a downtrend anyway. I expected another leg, which we're getting now. So that was a better trade for me. Finished on its low, although it went down quite quick. But yeah, do you know what? If this comes up here and finishes there, this finishes exactly there, and this finishes exactly there, that's the kind of top I'll pick. But just thinking, all right, it's gone down enough. We got a bullish bar. I'll pick that now. Try not to. Yeah, mate, you're not on your own there. I'll tell you what. I bet there'll be a lot of people, if you ask them, that'll own up to the same thing. If the market goes up, you think break a new high. Oh, look, there's a bearish bar there. The trend's played out. It doesn't mean it's coming down there. It might go a little bit higher first. The only time you really want to be taking those is if we've had maybe 3 or 4 before in exactly the same place, fitting something like that. So let's say, you know, we've had another one right there, sit in the same place, and another one here. They're the types of tops and bottoms. So nothing about today is bullish. No, it's not. So go for your second entries and go for your lower highs mainly. See that one there, push, lower high. Come down a bit. Go for your second entries and your lower highs and leave them alone. And the only time you trade them is if you get a really nice tight range like this and it fit in beautifully on the top 3 or more times. But just try removing them. But keep an eye on them and just, note which ones you think were good and did they work, and then you'll soon get your head back in the game where you think it's the right time to come in. But it is hard, mate. It is hard. So don't do yourself in over it. Nothing about the past week is bullish. No, it isn't. See, I thought markets were going to pick up a bit. The news that I got the gist of that over the next sort of 10 months, interest rates, they were going to be slowly reeling them in a bit, reeling them down. And that actually impacted positive on the markets. But then he finished with, if we do need to increase them at any time, for what reason, we also will do. So he give you a bunch of flowers and then kick you in the bollocks after. So, yeah, he lifted it up a bit and then finished on a bit of a down note. So, but yeah, it is a shame. You haven't done it for ages. I was deep down in the market. I was going one direction, bearish. I was trading the direction. I've been right. Could accept it. Yeah. I don't know what to say, mate. The only thing you can do is just take a little break. It's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And trust me, anybody that's ever tried trading, that's never tried trading, think it's easy. I'll tell you that for certain. So just take a little break, mate. Take a day or 2 or 3 or whatever. And then, maybe come back on I'll tell you what, a demo will be good for getting your confidence back up. Without any risk, So I disagreed with what the guy said about going on a demo, but I agree with him now. Actually, go on a demo just to build your confidence back up. Because if I've been trading for a week and I'm up $3,000 and I've lost 1 out of 10 trades, my confidence is stunning. I feel great. Life's wonderful. And then if I have a day where I lose 2 in a row and another day where I lose another one, it starts to knock your confidence and you start to question yourself. And it's hard to get out of that level, and it's very easy then to slip into that spiral thing. But, the longer you've been doing it, the more you've been doing it, once you start to make money, those losing days or whatever, they won't bother you so much. I'm convinced of that. Happened so quickly. I was trading well. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's almost like someone else takes over, isn't it? I'll tell you what, there is. Let me, nothing's happening yet. Let me just show you something. Look at this woman here. Her name's Creeder. You might have already listened to her. Let's have a look. Creeder Performance, her name is. How does she describe it? This woman here. Go onto YouTube and look at this woman here. Okay, she's from Dublin, I think. Creeder, her name is. She's a performance coach that works with traders. And I forget how she describes it, but it's almost like when we start to get stressed, we sort of block this certain level to cope with the stress. It's a coping mechanism for a stress, which then removes all rules and regulations. You sort of go into panic mode then, and it's like someone else is trading. I forget what she calls it, but have a look. Go and watch her. Creeder, her name is. And watch a few of her videos, and she might help you, because understanding what it is a good part of learning to deal with it. If you can understand what's happening when it's happening to you, I think what you've got to try and do is be aware of how you're feeling. And I think she says keep a pen and paper. And if you feel some strong emotions coming up, just trying to be aware, then write them down. Just say, my neck's stiff. I'm struggling. I feel my heart rate. Yeah, fellow Paddy, yeah. She's from Dublin. I'm pretty sure she's Dublin. And write down your emotions. I can feel my heart rate, my neck's getting... Just write down, but it's part of it's being aware. So if you're aware of what's happening, you'll know that it might be time to take a break for 10 minutes just to calm those down. But the trouble is, half the time, we're not really aware of how... It's almost like when you're meditating, isn't it? We're on autopilot and we're not aware of where we are throughout the day. And when you meditate, what you're doing is focusing on what's happening now in the simplest form by breathing. And that's kind of what she talks about, being aware of how you're feeling, because if your emotions take over, you'll just jump in and start pressing buttons. But if you're aware of how you're feeling, you can have some control there before it starts to get too much. But have a look at her and see if she helps you, mate. She's quite fit as well. She's easy on the eye, so that helps. I hope my wife doesn't see this later, otherwise I'm going to get a kicking. That's a lower high, isn't it? How did I get there? 2 points. 2.5 points. So I'm not a slow typist. I just got the mic in front of me. Oh, bollocks. There we go. Yeah, but I think personally it's time, but learning about how you're feeling and trying to be aware of when it's happening helps you protect yourself from not jumping in. So give her a go, mate. As you say, a fellow Paddy, and she might be able to put you in the right direction. That's exactly what happens. I've been reading. Excuse me. I've been reading Steve Ward stuff. Yeah. Eye candy always helps. Yeah, she's quite pretty, actually. Yeah, it's the psychological side. So hard, it really is. But, it's amazing, isn't it? When you're winning trades and everything's going rosy, you feel fantastic, don't you? And you feel like, I can't possibly fail now. And then all of a sudden, something happens and it goes weird, doesn't it? It goes south. But yeah, I would maybe take a day off and read some of her stuff. Look at some of her videos and just keep a pad and a pen. And when you start to feel that heart rate, we feel it, don't we? It's that nervousness, frustration. It's sort of exciting, but it's panicking. You can feel. Try writing it down. Write down how you're feeling, and it'll help you get control of it before it runs away with you and you lose control, and before you know it, you've taken 3 or 4 trades and you're hardly aware of it. But a mate of mine, Marlon, describes it as basically it's almost like someone else is just taken over. But yeah, anytime you want to message me, mate, I'm always up for a chat, because I know what it's like and I'm happy. I've had loads of people help me. Loads of people, and it does make you feel better. It certainly helps if someone else has been in the same position as you. It definitely helps. fact, I might start doing that myself, writing down my emotions. Trouble is, half the time we trade on autopilot, and that's sometimes where, see, when you're driving down the road, you do it without thinking about it, don't you? And you don't want to be trading ready without thinking about it. Once those emotions take over, we've all been in a punch up in our life, haven't we? And if you realise you're going to get into a punch up, you have all the right intentions of holding your fist by your side. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And once the fists start going, all the rules go out the window, don't they? And you just start swinging like a crazy man. And have you noticed when you've ever been punched in a fight, you don't really feel it much, do you? Because those emotions and all that cortisone and all that, sort of stuff flowing through your veins, that's sort of panic, fight or flight. It blocks out a lot of your pain, and you forget the rules, and that's what happens when the emotions kicks in. And it's the same with trading. Once money's involved, those emotions take over, and you don't think clearly. And that's typical when you're in a punch up. You never think clearly. I'm quite pleased with today, actually. I think both those trades were pretty good. I don't think there was no major issues. Yeah, I get what some said about the engulfing. But I think the bit that got me interested in that trade is we'd had one leg up, two legs up. And at the time, we'd actually had a small break out of there. So for me, there was the new high. And that's what got me thinking we're going lower. So yeah, just in case anybody doesn't know, Apex come out. I don't know why they call it. We got this offer on 50%. There's always a 50% offer on it. But what it does incorporate now is 50% off resets. So what Apex are basically saying, we're giving you 50% off, which you've already got. But what we'll do is when you fail, we'll give you half price off. So well, they're just making it more attractive to take a risk, really, aren't they? By saying, well, don't worry about failing. If you fail, you'll just give us another 40 quid instead of 80. So, yeah, I'm not going to bang on about it. I'm certainly not going to sell it to you based on that, the 40% off. If you need one, take one. If you don't, stay away. I've got no doubt within the next few weeks I'll have another 80% off. I get a small kickback from it, but I'm quite happy for you to take them on the 80% off. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't want you to pay any more money than you need to. I get a small cut because it doesn't cost you anything. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not charging you for anything. I've had loads of help. I don't want to charge anybody anything. So if you can, it is there if you want it, but if you can wait and you don't want an eval straight away, I'd say wait for the 80% off. Much more value for money. Okay. I kind of like how that fits now. It's not too bad at all, is it? Started here. It's not a bad touch there. Nice touch there. Nice touch there. Fact. You with us, Marlon? Speak up, my friend. Are you hiding in the background? Come on. Let's have a comment from you. I'm expecting you to give me a hard time about doing 2 contracts instead of 1. Come on. Come on. If you're there, let's have it. Let's get it over. Let's get me bollocking over and done with now. You message me later and going, I thought you were doing 1 contract. He's thinking about it. In fact, I was talking to him actually a couple of days ago. I don't know if anybody remember, but I took that trade right down in the bottom and it went sideways like this. It was right at the bottom of a channel like this, big channel. And I took a trade and it went sideways like that. And I moved me stop 1 tick, and I think it was Marlon said there was a buyer waiting with 500 contracts just below where I got stopped out. And Marlon trades on he trades same chart as us, but he uses order flow as well. So obviously he was able to ascertain that there was a buyer just below there with a large amount. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, with a large amount of contracts. I think 500 contracts. But then if you remember, it went down 2 ticks below my order and then moved right up. Excuse me a sec. My wife's just going to give me a quick ring. Sorry about that. Wife on the phone. Yeah, I was on about. So yeah, if I'd have moved my order down a couple of extra ticks, that buyer would have come into to play and would have pushed up. Not that that's a reason to move your stop, but it's interesting to know if there's a big buyer waiting to push the market away from you. You know what I mean? Some guy called her wants to know why you're not trading 1 contract. I say. He might not be on the stream, actually. I think sometimes he comments, so I know he's watching. So whether he's watched it all or I don't know. But we'll have a chat later anyway. Because I did say to him that I was going to move down to 1. And then I thought about it. The contract size isn't my problem. I don't have a problem taking trades. The issue I have is, 1, not going away when I've lost 2. But the biggest issue was coming back later on in the evening and trying to be too greedy. And that's what blows my accounts, not the amount of contracts. So, new rule, as soon as I finish, that's it. Shut down for the day, walk away. Because what I've started doing is coming back, marking my chart, posting it, and setting a new stream for tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is do that all in one go while I'm already on the chart, so I can shut down then and walk away for the evening. This is the lowest we've been for a while, isn't it? So at least we've had a nice start for the day or for the week. If you were to ask me what would be my ideal target for the day, I would say about $500, which is the equivalent of about $2,500 a week. So in an ideal world, I would be more than happy getting what I'm getting now. So some might say you've done your 2 trades, you should finish. But to be honest with you, I rarely lose a trade when I'm up, because I tend to get extra cautious and I only take best trades. So I don't necessarily deem it's a problem. And I say 2 to 3 trades a day in an ideal world. So I've only been trading 2 hours. So I tend to like to do around about 3 hours, which is another hour. So I'm quite happy just to watch, learn, chat, and not take anything if something doesn't come up. I'm certainly not in a rush to. I've done my job for the day. So I'm just quite happy sitting and watching. Jim. I've got to say, I got quite a supportive wife, actually. I've spent years trying new things, and my wife goes, "Oh, what are you doing now?" But I've got to say, she's been really supportive over this. Okay, there is a nice bearish bar there, and that is a failure. But it is congested here, so that can make it extra dangerous. And as I said, I'm already up nice, so the last thing I want to do is take a stupid risk. Now, if anybody takes that, I'm not calling you stupid. But for me, it's just a little bit congested there. So I think it's a little bit extra cautious. And to be honest with you, there's not that much room to the lows there. There's probably barely a point there. Point and a quarter. So I think it's just not worth it personally. For me anyway. But if you want to take it, knock yourself out. But I wouldn't be shocked with that congestion there if that goes up and takes out that red bar. My wife's just told me it's pancake day today. Do you have pancake day in the US? You know, where you toss pancakes and put like lemon and sugar on them. I know you guys eat pancakes a lot, don't you? The small round ones about 4 inches. You eat them with your maple syrup and that, don't you? But we have pancake day. I'm not sure whether you guys have it, where you just have flat pancakes around about 8 inches wide, something like that. Nice and thin, a little bit of lemon and sugar. Anyway, that's my job later. Yeah, I'm guessing there's a possibility that this may get stopped out if anybody's taken that one. It was a failure, and it may work, but it's just extra dangerous because of those bars there. It's a bit of sideways stuff there, so it could ruin your day. Oh, you do? Rin, okay, you do. Okay, excellent. Yeah, it is trying to go down, but and it most likely probably will, but I want something that jumps out at me, really. I think now it's broken down. I'm surprised that isn't attracting more sellers actually. It's struggling. Although for me everything's looking bearish. Every time it comes back to the EMA it's dropping out, but look at that. That's trading back in by the looks of things. So usually you fade these from the direction of the range, so typically you'd fade them from the, obviously from the top going down as you'd, you know, short from the top on a downtrend, but I thought after that broke out that would come down pretty quick. It's not that often we have a day like this, is it? A nice continuous downtrend throughout the day. It's been so choppy lately, isn't it? We've had a couple of good days, but and that's another key for me. When it is going sideways, I just have to sit back and watch it and stay away. That's another issue I have. Just trying to force trade sometimes when it's like that. I got to put my feet up and have a chit chat. $4.024. I think we're there, aren't we? Yeah, it's not strongly. It's. Yeah, I'm not convinced whether we're not going to move up a little bit here. It just seems to be struggling to go down. I thought after, you know, after this one, there might be some quite a bit of shorts thinking about going along there, because every time it comes back up here, it pushes down. But this to me is starting to maybe. I don't think. Let me just remove this. Whether there's a spike in channel there. I'm not convinced. It's more sort of sideways and downwards, isn't it? That lot fits along the bottom under the midline, doesn't it? And then we push up and then it fits mostly on top, apart from a bit there. I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's not too bad, I think. Maybe. But this one, we've had a break. 2 legs up, measured legs up, down, and into this. Yeah, I think it's like a, it's almost like a, that's the word I'm looking for, a 2-tiered channel, sort of. Fact. Yeah, sort of. With the also this little bit of sideways. Hello, Osam, my friend. How you doing, mate? How are you, lad? Could go down to 420. It's not much further, actually. Could go down. In fact, this is the lowest it's been for days, isn't it? I think. I did look at the volume yesterday. Absolutely pathetic. Look at that. That was it. Look, there's some sad trade. Sorry if you traded yesterday, but there's some. I did look at that at the end of the day, and I'm thinking you could have marked that chart up in about 10 seconds. Look at that. No, there was clearly no. I did come in about midday, and I think that was it. I think, but look at that, there's nothing there. Pathetic, in it. But this is looking like a nice little trend. This, so, yeah, that's the sort of neatest looking downtrend we've had for a while, haven't we? Down, pull back, little bit of a correction, down, pull back, little bit of a correction, down. Sometimes it can be. I'm just wondering whether that is more that it fits. Yeah, I don't think it really matters too much. Too many fail breakouts for me. So, you know, it's yeah. See you, Toad. Take it easy, bud. Back here tomorrow. Have a good evening. Have a good pancake evening. Yeah, it's getting a little bit sidewaysy. That's a new technical term I'm using there. Yeah, it's getting a bit barbed wiry, isn't it? Big stems either way. Yeah, it's too far. Even if I wanted to go short there, that's just too far from me. And we are ranging at the moment, a little bit of congestion, and it. I don't want to go short into that. It's a clear downtrend so far. Not easy to. No, it isn't, mate. Yeah, too emotional. Yeah, it's dangerous, isn't it? Double traps and all. Second entry long. You may have taken that one. Thinking you're going to capture bottom. Just thinking if there's any other traps there. There's not that many, actually. Probably nothing. But I can't see where there's any even longs in here, which may give it a little bit of momentum. If there was anything long there, that would have probably got stopped out. I can't see going long there, maybe. I don't know. It's just congested for me. ATR's quite low, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think there is many bulls at the moment, is there? I mean, there are going to be people trying to pick bottoms, but I wouldn't be like to be picking a bottom in that, to be honest with you. Got to go back days, haven't you, before we've been down here, so I don't know. Why try and fight it? Sometimes you're better off just joining them, aren't you? I'll tell you what, though, something. I watch this What's It guy quite a lot. The gorilla guy, and he mentioned he took a trade. Actually, I think he got about 32 points out of it. And he said when the market it was a particular uptrend. He said when the market's doing lots of little small bars, getting on any second entry long, and apparently he got that from Al Brooks. See, at the moment we're going down with lots of little bars, aren't we? And the ATR is literally, you take a trade and the average risk with a tick above and tick below is 2.5 points. So I wonder if anybody else has come over something like that. The trouble is we seem to be coming down, correction, coming down, correction, coming down. So we're not continuously. I think this trade he took was just doing this. Lots of little bars slowly up. There's no setups here really, is there? Not for me. You may have took that fairly. It certainly worked. The bit that put me off is these 3 bars sat next to it. That's the start of congestion. You just don't know. It might have come down here. You might have triggered a ticker too high than that and then come down anyway. But there's nothing that's telling me there's anything else bar bearish at the moment. So I think any type of setup you take close to the EMA is probably likely, whether you took that one, whether you took, well, any of these, to be honest with you. You took any of them, you took that one. Even that one hasn't been stopped out yet. You take any, that's the thing. Sometimes when you have these nice trends, it just never seems to come back and breaks higher, does it? Everything is continuously lower. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. But guaranteed the second we jump in, it'll go off like a flipping rocket. Yeah, we sort of had this bottom section of the below the, and then we had this sort of push to this side of it nearly, then some sideways, and now it's working down in this top section of it, which leads me to believe it's two-tiered channel. Lots of little bars is a strong trend. Oh yeah, so there you go. Oh, you got 8.5 points. Well done, mate. Yeah, when there's lots of little bars and we're getting this nice, slow but steady trend. Apparently, Al Brooks says get in on every second entry short, but because I'm doing such a good start and it's my first day, I don't want to take any risks. I'm 100% happy not to take any more and just watch and learn for the next 45 minutes. But yeah, if you look at any of these, any of them, they went down. Guaranteed the time I get in, fucking hell, take me off and flipping go off upwards. And they are pretty small bars, aren't they? The ATR is very small at the moment. Well done, mate. 8.5 points. Yeah, there's so much more in the market than scalping 1 point nowadays. 8.5 points. Let's see if we can work out where you came in. So I'm guessing you came out around about here somewhere, yeah. So where did you get in there? Up here. You got in up here, did you? Did you? You take that second bar there. I don't think you got in there, would you? No. Or would you? Yeah. You know, sometimes when you think we can't get any lower, it just keeps going. We actually haven't moved down a huge amount today. Where are we down? 58 points. A few weeks ago, there was a 57 point red bar. So it's not actually a huge move down, is it? 50 odd points. There, yeah. I don't know. I don't seem to have the confidence at the moment. If I had 20 grand in there, then I might take a trade here, maybe here, and then just ride it and see what I can get. I just take it down to about here, set it to break even, and then just follow down the swings. And but I'd rather just concentrate on taking the good setups at the moment without taking something slightly risky. I don't know. I can't see anything looking rally-ish because the bars are looking quite small and steady. From what I gather, might just keep on going down. But nothing's set in stone, is it? You just never know. Okay, possible second entry short. We're still in this range to me. Something I don't like about this. I kind of hope it finishes crap. Yeah, I'm not taking this anyway at the moment. I'm quite happy sitting here at the moment. What time is it? 1:15. Yeah, I'm quite happy not taking any trades. That's more than my target. I'm not a fan of targets, and the reason I'm not a fan, because I know Max says have a target, and I'm not a fan of targets because if you have a target, that indicates you've got to keep trying until you reach it, and sometimes I think that can be detrimental. It can make you force trades. Maybe have a target of, if you hit this, maybe a limit. If you hit this, then finish. But the trouble is, if you've not, if you've got a target of 2 trades a day and you've only hit 1 and, you're getting to 3 or 4 hours, you might try and squeeze something a little bit more than you should do. And hence, get yourself into a spot bother, Yeah, I don't like this anyway. Times like this, when we get that, it may come down lower, it may work its way back up here, or you may have a break, but that's could be a breakout and a new low, but that for me is finding some buyers, I think, at the moment. But we had the same thing here, didn't we? And we came out the top here. 1 leg up, 2 legs up, lower high. I like that. That was a nice trade, that. Clearly a downtrend. Nice little channel break. New high. Strong push below the EMA. Pull back. Close on its low. That was a lovely trade, that was. That was a nice standard trade, that, in a downtrend. Nice. Yeah, there's a possible failure there, short failure. But I'm not jumping into anything unless it's a gold mine. If I take that, it'll trigger and then push up. If I don't take it, it'll drop like a stone. So I'm leaving it alone. it this way, there's nothing like having a good day and going away for the evening and say you can relax, everything's good in the world, isn't it? You go away on a red day and it's just something isn't quite right. Yeah, something doesn't look right to me here. Yeah, there was no real setup there, just too risky. I'm not a fan when it does that. You get a big push up and then you get that one. I wouldn't be shocked if it triggered and pushed up and came back to the trouble is you think it's always going to be down when we have a break, but it might break here and go up to the top of the bigger overall range, and that's where lies the problems. It's easy to get triggered. So I've come to the conclusion, if something doesn't feel right, you're best off leaving it alone, because our instincts play a big part in your life, don't they? And if something doesn't feel right, my 53 years experience tells me that you're best off to stay out of the way. Instincts there for a reason, and it's usually pretty much on the ball. That's a really nice steady trend there, isn't it? One channel, correction, another channel, correction, another channel. Yeah, this could be a correction. That would make sense. This looks to me like it could. Yeah, I would say we are likely going to have... Yes, if you look at the pattern, we've had the same thing all the way, haven't we? We've had this big push down and a pull back and then the two legs down, and then we're in this channel. Breakout, correction, exactly what we're doing here. Same here, channel, breakout, correction, push down, breakout, correction. This looks like a correction to me. Oh, broken the lows yet? No, we haven't. Yeah, see the last correction we did, didn't we? We had a break. No, the last correction we didn't either. That one we didn't till we're down here. Yeah, so I don't expect it to break the lows until we've had a correction and then come down, because that one didn't. We didn't break the lows here until we'd had that bit of correction and then down. Same here, channel. We had a break, correction, and then down, and then obviously we broke that low, and we broke that low here, and I'm guessing at some point so it'd be tempting to take a trade there, wouldn't it? One leg up, two legs up, bearish bar, bring it down, but I want to be extra cautious. I want something obvious, and that to me is picking a top, although it's finished there, it's finished there, it's finished there, but I think there's a slight extra risk there that I don't like. So if it doesn't feel right, I'm staying away. Let's have a look. pretty much made a measured move, but I'm quite happy to let a trade go by if it doesn't feel right. I've been burned too many times, as Max says. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's a doji anyway. Probably going to come down. But it's just, that's alarm bells, isn't it? Yeah, that's triggered. I wouldn't be shocked if that gets stopped out. Yeah, you wouldn't have took that anyway, to be fair. That's about as perfect a doji as you get. Although we've had two pushes, it's just risky. Now, whether it'll tick above it, I don't know, but I can't see many people in that trade anyway. I mean, it's about as risky as it comes at. Yeah, these are the tops I'm be careful in picking. So easy, isn't it, to get pick a trade there? Yeah, the trouble is you pick a top here, it could trigger you and move up. And actually, although you think it's broken the range, the trend, actually, when you zoom out and look at the bigger overall trend, it could quite easily come up to here, and it's still in the overall trend. Now, we've had this trend down, we've had a break, push down breaks. It could potentially push higher. I wouldn't be shocked if it does come up to here. It's certainly possible, and that just makes it more difficult to pick places to get short here. It just makes them a bit more dangerous. And while that extra danger is there, I'm trying to stay away. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that's a nice bar, and I'd expect to come lower, but it's a 14 tick bar, tick above, tick below. That's 16 ticks. It's actually not as big as it looks, is it? Actually, what is that? Yeah. Consider how low the ATR is. That's a big bar. 3.5 points. So a tick above, tick below, it's 4 points. So it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge bar. But today, it's double the average. That includes your stop and your order. Calling it a day. Have a good day. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Have a good evening, bud. Yeah, you might as well. If you made some money, you might as well. Absolutely. I'm not going much longer, I think. It's been quite a short day today. I might do another 15, 20 minutes. We'll see. I'm quite happily not trading. I'm just quite happily just going through the motions. Every bit of time you sit here, you're learning. So it's not without its uses. In fact, while I'm not doing anything, I'm just going to mark my chart up, and I'm going to post this when I get back. So that is a lower high, and it is a second entry short. Yeah, new low. Second entry short, lower high. Okay, so let's move that over there. So remove my mic. So sorry. Enter. So it is a second entry short, stroke lower high. Makes sense, doesn't it? Apply. Ready to post there. That one is a Second entry short, lower high. Okay, that was 3.5 points. Let's bin that. Click that. Copy, paste. Move that over here and just change that to a 3. Cushy. Yeah. Okay, that is the same trade. Second entry short, lower high. Second entry short, lower high. Okay. I get me trade all marked up. I can just post it on the Facebook group. Set me stream for the morning for tomorrow, and I am sorted. I can stay away from the computer tonight. At the end of the day, who normally in their job would finish for the day, go home, spend the evening with your family, have your tea, and then go back and decide to go and have another hour's worth of work? You wouldn't do it, would you? The best thing to do is when you finish work is to go home. That's made the measured leg, so let's remove that. So there we go. 2 trades for the day. That's a good day's work, that is. I'm happy with that. 2.5 and 3.5. That's why I don't advocate a point anymore. Just look at that. Look what you could have got. You know, even if you take it, I would say, even if you take it to the first swing, let's take it maybe till it starts to stall there. So even if you go from there just to down here, look, once it starts to go a bit sideways, you can get 3.5 points there. And even if you had the, you know, the nuts to stay in there, you could have got a lot more. Same with that one. Let's just take that down to the bottom. There you go. There's another 3.5 points. So whichever way you look at this, there's 1-to-1 in it. You know, just pick these 2 trades, and then you just look at your charts for the next 10 days, 2 weeks. Look at other people's charts and just work out. So I just, especially for newer traders, it's just so hard. It's challenging enough as it is, but without going for 1 point, I think you're cutting your nose off to spite your face. I think when Matt came up with the old 1 point thing, and if you've got a massive account and you're trading 20 contracts on 1 point and 5 contracts on a runner, and you're an experienced chart trader and you get a lot of money on the runners, then then it's probably fine. But for new traders, I think 1 point's really tough, in all honesty. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. No, I'll do that after. Okay, so that is quite a nice downtrend, isn't it? Push down, correction, push down, correction, push down, correction. So at some point we're going to be going lower again. And I'm quite happy to let it go. I'm not a fan of getting in on this. I don't mind something like this, but I'm not picking tops or middles or where I think it's going to go. I think this is the dangerous, picking it in this choppy place. It's a bit choppy there, but then we had a clear push up and a lower high, so that's different. And same there, a little bit choppy, but then we had a push out of it. But just risk that. I'm going to have a go at the next couple of nights in putting timestamps in the bottom. I was speaking to, was it SW Blaze, I think, here. And he told me how to adjust it so I can get it to work. So, in case you haven't had, you know, or you don't want to watch the whole stream, or you're just flitting backwards and forwards, at least then, if you desire, you can nip back and look at just the actual trades. I know a couple of people have expressed interests. I mean, you know, some people are stuck at work all day and might not have a chance, and they don't want to sit through 3 hours of me rambling on. So I will figure it out. actually, we've got a short-term trend channel here, but if you look at this, we've had a new high. We're trying to go higher once. If this comes down here and pushes up here, there's a possible long failure then, and I expect then the only trouble is it's around the middle and it just says it's not giving us the option anyway. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. Actually, we've done just over 2.5 hours. It's quite a short day today, but I'm extremely happy with the start of the PA accounts. If you ask me what my ideal daily amount was my ideal, I would say $500. So I'm more than happy to have hit that and some change. So it's all good. So I'm going to finish now. Go and spend the evening with my family making pancakes. I might have a couple of single malts. So I will be here tomorrow. So that is it, I think. I have a discount code there. So if you do take an evaluation, I get a small kickback. It doesn't cost you anything. And there is 50% discounts on resets. So if you have failed an account or an evaluation, you can have a reset, which is 50%. I think it's usually $80, but look, it's there if you want anyway. You don't have to use it. But, you know, if you're not in a hurry for one, I'll be inclined to wait myself, because I would say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I will be shocked if we don't have another 80% off. So if you need one, there it is. If not, and you can wait, I'd wait, because if you are struggling, it's always best to fail one that costs $33 than cost $80 or whatever it is. So so if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It's looking, I've got nearly 700 subscribers now. It's nice to know there's the interest, actually. So it's kind of nice. It kind of shows a bit of an achievement. So I'm pleased with that. So I'm pleased people get some use out of it. It's good for me. It's good for my psychology. It helps me be accountable. And it's nice chat with a bunch of guys who've got the same interest. And we're getting to know each other now. And we're going through week by week and month by month, you know, all helping each other. And it's kind of nice. It can be quite a boring, lonely old existence trading. So it is nice when you got other people on the end of the line just for a quick natter, you know. So look, if you're carrying on trading, good luck. Have a great pancake evening with your family. I don't know whether you go for that sort of thing, but we do in this house. I'm like a kid when it comes to stuff like that. I'll probably stuff my face full of pancakes later and regret it. But look, if you're carrying on trading, good luck. Have a great evening. And I will be here from just before the market opens tomorrow. So stay safe, and I will catch you all just before the market opens tomorrow.